Hi everyone, this is Balazs from RacingBrick. Today I'm going to continue my series exploring different builds from Rebrickable. In the previous video you could see this great alternative design of the Lamborghini Sian, the Ford F-150 by Nico71. If you want to know more about Rebrickable or this video series, I recommend you to watch that video. A lot of you like the F-150, but I have received many requests to show something based on a more affordable set and possibly with free instructions. Well, that's exactly what we are going to do today. We will take a closer look at some cool Speed Champions custom builds. I checked out what Rebrickable offers when looking for Speed Champions B models and found a designer who seems to have plenty of designs. I'm sorry if I'm spelling the name wrong, but here is ilyabuilder724's profile page. He has dozens of different builds, so it was quite a challenge to pick two, but I finally settled on the Hoonicorn and the LaFerrari, both of which seem to be very popular. You can find the links to these builds in the description and also in the pinned comment. Please use them if you want to keep this series alive. A few words about his instructions. They are good quality digital instructions, but there is a trick to making them available for free. They are uploaded as a YouTube video. I think this is a fair compromise as the designer gets some ad revenue from YouTube and you can still get the instructions for free. I was a bit worried about the ease of use, but the video is very cleverly edited. You only have to pause it at the first step and then use the arrows to jump to the next one, which is surprisingly convenient. So let's get started with the Hoonicorn. Here is the structure so far, nothing special, mainly part stacking. There is a small mistake in step 18, the quarter tile is not required. Now it's time to add the cool turbos sticking out of the hood, and for the second one we actually need two spare parts. As you can see, the original set's inventory has only one of this red piece and one grey thing with the handlebar, but two of them are needed for this build. Unfortunately, this isn't highlighted in the description, but you will need to use some of these spare parts that come with the set. If you want to check which additional parts were originally included in the box of the Charger or any other set, you can always look this up at the end of the inventories on Rebrickable. This is very useful. Unfortunately, I wasn't smart enough to keep the spares of this set separate. I usually throw the small pieces in one of these bowls. I found the red piece, but I couldn't find the other one in light bluish grey. If I check it again on Rebrickable, after a few clicks I can see which sets had this particular piece, and apart from the Charger, I only have the Defender among them. After a few minutes of searching, I finally found it. This part holds the exhaust. It's not visible at all, so I'm going to borrow it and replace it with a black one. And now I can finally fit the second assembly. We have all the mudguards in place, and now the trunk and the rear lights too. These are two rather tricky assemblies that are facing each other and simulate the rear diffuser. There's another mistake in step 75. We need light bluish grey tiles instead of the black ones, and one of them comes from the spare parts again. This will be another complicated assembly with the side windows and the seats. Side panels are straightforward, then comes the windshield. The front has studs facing in different directions, and that's how it's fitted. Now we just have to attach the wheels and we are done. Let's put this aside a bit. Now it's time to assemble the LaFerrari. The build has been pretty straightforward so far. These assemblies at the rear are only held in place by one stud, so you need to take care when building. One particular challenge is the lack of stickers in the instructions. I don't want to remove my stickers, and I don't think the ones inside will spoil the look in the end, but now I have to use all 1x4 tiles and two of them are stickered, so I decided to put these on top. Let's see how it looks in the end. The door section looks pretty cool now with some complex techniques. This is the assembly of the front. Things are starting to take shape. Back here I had to improvise where to put the stickered slopes. Maybe I will move them later. This is where the stickers become a problem. According to the instructions, I'm supposed to put these on sideways, but then it looks super weird. I can either rotate them, but then I still have the red pattern, or I can use these triangles instead. I think I will go for this option. Now we just need to attach the back part to keep the bottom assemblies in place, the windshield and the wheels, and we are done. I think it's better to move those sticker slopes around. They look better when they are facing forward. And I just realized I messed up the front by adding a piece that didn't belong there. Now it's much better. So here are the two finished models and you can also see how many pieces are left. I think they both look great. They are clearly different from the originals and represent the models quite well. My favorite is of course the Hoonicorn, which could be spiced up with some stickers and matching wheels. Well, here's a sneak peek for you. I'm working on a new 3D printer video with some pretty cool results. Here's a rim for the Hoonicorn. The tire isn't printed yet, the Lego one doesn't really fit, but you can imagine how awesome it will look. Back to the builds. Like I said, they look great and the stability at the end is better than I expected based on the build. The Hoonicorn is pretty sturdy, the LaFerrari is fine too. There are a few places where you have to be careful, but that happens with certain official Speed Champion sets as well. They may contain fewer pieces than the base sets and may have less tricky or surprising building solutions, but all in all I'm quite happy with the results. These were quick and enjoyable builds with a good looking end result. The instructions might have a few mistakes here and there, but they are easy to follow and most importantly, they are free. If you have some Speed Champion sets at home, I recommend you explore the designers page as there are a lot of great B models to choose from. Please let me know your thoughts, folks. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe with notifications as there will be more exciting LEGO videos coming soon. See you next time, bye bye.